Hi everyone, good morning, good morning. I'm so excited to share my testimony about my parenting journey in Intentional Parents Academy. I am Catherine Irene. I am in cohort 1Q of the Intentional Parents Academy. Yes, I'm Yada. I'm so excited this morning because TIP has really blessed me. TIP has really given me an opportunity to parent with intentionality. I have 4 children, one of whom has cerebral palsy. What CIP did, the teaching, the coaching really changed my whole system. Before now, I thought I was doing well as a parent, and I began to wonder, those parents actually need to be learned? Hmm. I can't but say this, that what I've gained in these past months in the academy is something that cannot be compared to what I think about parenting. I have gained clarity, I have gained confidence. I have even turned my daughter's journey, the pain of parenting a special needs child, into purpose. Do you know what? TIP has made me connect with my children. I now see the need why I need the knowledge in order for me to raise generation shifters, to raise children that I don't need to bail out, to raise purpose driven children. Intentional parenting has really helped me and my family. Another thing that has happened to me is I begin to see myself parenting with all clarity. I'm no longer overwhelmed. I've left that place of pity. I've left that place. This is an opportunity to tell those that are parenting children with cerebral palsy that you are not alone. You are not alone. Yes, come into the inner circle and your life will not remain the same. Thank you and God bless.
And yes, you are not alone. Come into the inner circle, and your life will never remain the same. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining me. It is an amazing, amazing time to be live. Yes, talk to me. Are you excited to be live today? Today, we're talking about why good parents still struggle and how to finally break that circle in the coming year. So there's been a rave of conversation around the suspended co-founder of Paystack. And a lot of people have gone to dig out his story, dig out his history. And one of the things that we're seeing is that his parents are, church people. His parents are pastors and all of that. Somebody even tagged me on a post that says, what do you mean? You can do everything, be a good parent, and still lose your children. Is that really true? Now, one of the biggest problems that we have seen in parenting is that I see a lot of us say good parent, but let's even define what it is properly. Most parents who struggle today are not bad people. No, they are not. They are loving, they are praying, they are hardworking, they are doing everything they know. In quote, they know. But here is the truth. What you know, it's no longer sustainable. Goodness is not a skill. Goodness is not enough. Goodness is not something that you can use to just raise a child. Prayer is good, but you can pray all you can and still not be able to raise your child. Love is not enough. Everything that you know about these are emotions. Now, good parents struggle because they are trying to parent with intentions but without skills. Without skills. They are trying to parent with emotions without strategy. They are trying to parent with effort without a system. A lot of us are in that space where there's a lot of effort, there's a lot of struggles, there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of intention. But trust me, that cannot help you. Welcome here. It is Tuesday Live, and today I'm sharing with you why good parents still struggle and how to finally break that circle of, but I'm a good parent. I've done everything right. I'm going to share with you all the things that can or could have been a stumbling block for you and what you can begin to do. My name is Wendy Ologi, and I'm called Africa's #1 parent coach. I'm the founder of the Intentional Parents Academy. The favorite name I have is VC. The parents in the inner circle call me VC, and yes, I love it. And talking about the inner circle, it is 12 days to go. Are you in the yard yet? If you are in the yard, let me see your comment in the comment section. Say, yes, I am in the yard. Yes, I am in the yard. Because you know what? Very soon in the yard, we're going to begin to have parents who are, on a journey. And when you see them, you're going to be wondering, what am I doing that is wrong? A lot of people actually see parents who are on a journey and say, because your children are better than mine. No child is better than another. That's the truth. Every child is created uniquely. Uniquely. I see you guys. Welcome, welcome. I see you, Emily Sarah Ngonomo. I like to pronounce that name. Sounds really straight. Yeah, somebody was chatting me and said, "Oh, I'm a new yard. I'm from Zambia." I say, "Our Zambia Connect is connected. We are going to be in Zambia soon. As before you can even blink, we shall arrive Zambia for TIP Summit." Yes, Emily is from Zambia. And sometimes when Emily is actually saying some things, she says, "I've learned some of the Nigerian slangs and we love it." We have Cameroonians, South Africans, Rwandans. We actually have people from all walks of life, Americans, Canadians, British, whoever. This is why we are here. Right. I see you, Sarah. Okay. And one of the things that I have learned, let me break it down. Yes, let me see you say I'm in the yard. And before you even begin, I want to also see you with saying that you have invited somebody. Have you invited someone to come and actually take a look, to come and actually see what is happening here? So share this link. Share this link now for you to be able to so sorry about that. Okay, let's go. Number one is intention without skill. Intention without skill. Many parents genuinely intend to raise great children, but intention alone does not produce results. For example, a mother that says, "I want my children to be confident," that's intention. I want to raise very confident children. Yet, she constantly will interrupt that same child, correct their tone, decide their activities, never let them express themselves, never let them do chores, never let them walk one short distance because there's a lion somewhere. Everything you are doing is contradicting your intention. So at the end of the day, you're going to actually have a problem. Yes. So your intention is good, but without the skills of nurturing that autonomy, the outcome will contradict the intention. I have a book called Raising the Independent Thinking Child. We read it last month in the Inner Circle. And one of the things that I wrote is that for you to raise someone who can think independently, then you want to build the skills of confidence. Do you know? Now, one of the major problems we have with raising confident children is that a lot of the parents who are raising them are not confident themselves. There's a lot of mess that have happened to children growing up. And a lot of us actually carry those things and grew up with them. For instance, I was sharing the other day on my timeline and I said that by the time a girl child is turning 9, research says that they begin to lose their confidence for several reasons, puberty and all the rest of them. Most children actually got stuck there. So that's why a lot of us actually became people's pleasers. A lot of us actually couldn't express ourselves and got stuck there. Some of us have grown that way to raise other people. And because of that, we are now raising people who are also not as confident. So when a child actually says no to you, you get angry. Why are you angry? Because you have been taught that when someone says no to you, it's something negative. So you fight. So you can't even say no to the other person because you think it's a sin to say no. So that's why everybody wants you to do everything. You are doing it without being able to say no. It's a negative. You were raised without the ability to be confident in the answers or even the things that you're saying. So right now, you belong to Umalama Community Women Association. You belong to, this one, that one. Every one of them, daughters of Abraham, I'm sure your dads understand what I'm talking about. Every one of them know exactly, you are the chairman association of this, that. Every one of them. And thank you again. Yes, and my mom is here. It was my mom's birthday yesterday. And congratulations to my mom. My mom is 74, looking all glammed. Amazing. That's better. That's somebody said, are you going to be like your mom when you're older? I said, I will be better. That's why the generation is always better than the previous. Thank you so much. And yes, shout out to mama. All right. So the intention is pure. You want your child to actually be confident, but you are not able to allow your child to say no. In fact, I see a lot of parents who say to me, I beat my child mercilessly because he said no to me. Why? So at the end of the day, what do you think you're doing? You're going to produce a child who's going to struggle with their confidence. So, of course, your intentions are right. And then when you go out, the child is bending down to talk to an adult. And then you actually are struggling. Now, this child also, you want them to build confidence, but then they are screened from morning till night. They are not building any social skills. The child cannot relate. But the child is doing well. The child is doing well. And of course, that hampers on our growth. The skill of creating psychological safety is missing when you parent with intention without skill. Intention without skills will create frustration in parenting. Any intention that you have without skills will create frustration in parenting. Somebody help me put that in the comment section. Anytime that I talk about skills, people look at me and like, oh, what kind of skills do you really need to, parent a child with and all of that? I can talk about skills forever. But this book talks about the tools that you need. But most importantly, you need this book. Discipline is not an emergency. It talks about the skills, the systems. It talks about the different things that you actually will need when it comes to skills. Let me just open, a bit for you. If you go to chapter 1 to page 123, of course, that's where this book talks about skills, page 123. And if you open that page, it talks about parenting toolbox for success. What are the skills? Problem solving skills. What are the skills? Emotional regulation skills, communication skills, responsibility and accountability. The interesting thing, I've come to realize that most of us were raised without skills. We were just raised like that. Somebody said, oh, I've been talking, and my children are not listening to me. So why do you say that children should not be beaten? It's only when I beat them they listen. I say, you have a problem. You have a communication problem. Instead of you to go to the root cause of your problem, you are beating a child. Talking is not a disciplinary tool. Why are you talking? You're not communicating what you should communicate. There's verbal correction, and verbal correction is not talking. They're two different conversations. Oh no, it's not talking. A lot of people just talk. What are you talking about? It's the content that is more important than even the knowledge that you have. You can know it and have the right content, the wrong content. Oh yes, I've seen it happen severally. People say, oh, I know what to do. I know that when a child does this is what I'm not supposed to. What is the content of that message? What's the content? The content. Content is very important. What content do you have? And most times you say, oh, I'm there, I'm doing everything. It's not by doing everything. What's the content of your everything? Until you understand the content of your everything, you have no place for this conversation on argument. So don't argue until you can see that the content of your everything makes sense. Sometimes we have content that is not contenting. So we dish out whatever it is that we want. And then we just say, oh, I've tried it. The ready one is I've tried gentle parenting. But what exactly is gentle parenting? What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? Intentional parenting is not gentle. Intentional parenting is work. The kind of work you will do practicing intentional parenting, it's more difficult to actually practice your anyhowness. Oh, yes. Anyhow, honest is easy. Anywhere belly face, you just face it, you just run. Intentional parenting will really strip you off everything, both your humility and so intentions without skills will create frustrations. You are frustrated because you have good intention. You want your children to behave well, but you think your toolbox is for you to beat them to stupor. That toolbox is a wrong toolbox. It will take you nowhere. Your children will only pretend that all is well. The ones that don't pretend will rebel. The ones that don't rebel will recoil. The ones that don't recoil. So these are the things that will happen. I call it the 4 R's of negative discipline. So is that they rebel? They repel? They retract? So whichever one that happens to them part time is a consequence of a wrong discipline. The right kind of discipline doesn't get a child to shut down. No. The right kind of discipline doesn't disconnect a child. No. The right kind of discipline actually teaches and recreates a child. Oh, yes. That's what discipline is about. Discipline is not about you just screaming. You know, in the opening of this book, discipline is not an emergency. I shared something that is very profound. I say aggression is not discipline, it's destruction. Discipline grows a child, it doesn't cut them short. Discipline builds, it doesn't destroy. Discipline makes a child, it doesn't break a child. Discipline is not reaction to a thing, it is responsibility to a thing. Discipline is about the systems, the skills, the shadows, the structures, and the strategies you build. Discipline is not how you feel, it is how you build. It's not in your feeling. Discipline is not how critical you are, it is how connected you are. Discipline is not criticism, it's not even correction. I dare to try you. I challenge you today. Discipline is not correction. At the point of correction, you have missed out on discipline. Oh, yes. Correction is the tail end after you have disciplined. Discipline is not control. Discipline is about content, it's about conversation, it's about connections, it's about culture. What's the content of your discipline? That's actually the true conversation. I'll tell you a story. Over the weekend, I was in Warri, Asaba and Warri, and I had an event where I was speaking with a team. And you know, when I woke up yesterday morning, and I was supposed to take a flight from Warri and get back to Abuja, and I was in the gym, and then the other speakers who spoke and the other people were, there. Somebody walked up to me and said, "So after that long haul, Saturday, Sunday, speaking, the travels, everything, you still woke up this morning to be at the gym." And she said one word. She said, "You are a very disciplined person." It's very obvious. That's what discipline is. It's training. It's training. This morning I was up at 5. I do not think that any of you would do, 500 squats in a day. It's training. I wasn't able to do it at the beginning, but now I can do it comfortably. Why? Discipline. I've been able to discipline my body to be able to respond to me. That's how you discipline a child. I started proper gym, practice since the past almost 4 years. And I tell you for free, I've trained myself. When I started to train, I like strength building, right? When I started to do strength building, the first time I carried a 5 kg dumbbell, I wanted to collapse. But today I can do a 70 kg with my small body. 7 kg is even bigger than I am. So it's not really in your size. It's in the training, it's in the capacity that you build. That's the same thing with parenting. So it's not about your intention, it's the capacity you have built over the years. So I built capacity in the gym. So sometimes you see people like us who are so tiny in the gym carrying a lot of weight. It will look like, who is this? And you want to just try because you have body. It doesn't work like that. So it's not about how long you've been a parent. It's not about, it's how much that you have in you. So you can actually have been a parent for 18 years without the right content. It's same thing. Same thing. You're on the wrong route. My father in the Lord will say that there is nobody who has actually taken a route to the wrong destination that gets there. You don't get to your destination using the wrong route. No, you don't. You don't. So you build capacity. That's what you do. You build capacity. You build capacity. So Bishop Oyedebo will say, no matter how you face Ilori and you want to go to, Meduguri, except you are going to go across water, turn proud, Atlas, and all of that, and you actually get there until you turn around. So your number of years you are parenting is inconsequential. Oh, no, it's inconsequential. If you have not built content on that journey, it is all intentions. It's all intentions. Your content. And what we're teaching in the inner circle is content. We are building your capacity. The more you stay, the more capacity you build. Right now, I do squats, and people actually, somebody sent me a chat. Say, Coach, how do you do 500 squats? I do 100 squats at a go. I couldn't have dreamt of doing that 4 years ago. I do it at a go. No breaking. It's a lot. I have built capacity. That's how you build muscles. That's how you build capacity as a parent. That's how it works. Capacity building. Skill. Number 2, a lot of parents have emotions without strategy. Parents love their children deeply, but parenting is not an emotional task. Please, somebody help me write that in the comment section. Parenting is not an emotional task. It is a strategic task. Parents love their children deeply, but you must understand that parenting is not an emotional task. Parenting is a strategic task. If you are not strategic, you won't win. No matter how much you love your child. A child is struggling academically. A parent is getting emotional. You are shouting, you are comparing, you are threatening because you're scared. It's because you're scared. That's the truth. Because there's no strategy. There's no learning and assessment. There's no study pattern. You don't know their learning style. There's no academic structure. There's no follow-up plan. Good parents fail when they rely on emotions to fix a problem that requires a plan. Let me say that again. Good parents fail when they only rely on emotions to fix a problem that requires a plan. The problem requires a plan. You are crying. The problem requires a plan. You are ashamed. What are you ashamed of? The other day I said that if you are ashamed that your child have done something, anything at all, believe you me, you are ashamed because you lack a strategy. That's the truth. So if your parenting is emotional, you are not parenting right. It doesn't matter whether it's not about good or bad. It is about wisdom and foolishness. That's the truth. So, when I was writing this book, one of the things that triggered me to write this book is how a lot of parents actually think, raising the lifelong learner, that just because they are shouting and their child has passed and made all A's, that, the child has learned. You can actually have a child who come up to first class and know nothing. And when I mean know nothing, I'm not talking about exams. I'm talking about different things. Now, the truth of the matter is that when you try to fix problems with your emotions, there's a withdrawal. But a parent who actually understands strategy, they are slow to pursue, they understand connection, they understand empathy, they understand one-on-one time. Without strategies, emotion is not easy. Without strategy. You just say, hey, you are just making noise. And then what is the conversation? And then what? Number 3, effort without systems. Last week in the inner circle, I shared with parents in the inner circle on this particular one, effort without systems. Good parents put in a lot of effort. A lot. But effort without a system will lead to burnout without results. And I was sharing with them about the Bible, where it talks about, and the elders obtained a good report, not a good result. Your report card will need to be good before your result card can be okay. They obtained a good report. What is your report? What is your report? What did you do? And when you look at that chronicle of faith, he says, Abraham did this, did that. What have you done? They say, oh, this person learned this, did that, adhere to instruction. What instruction are you adhering to? There's a lot to learn. Effort. Effort without systems in parenting will lead to burnout without results. You want discipline. So, of course, you shout today, you talk tomorrow, you beat next week, you ignore next month, you amend the rules, you bring new rules, you judge consequences. There is effort. There's effort. You're making effort. You're making effort. Today you're shouting, tomorrow you're beating. You're making effort. But there's no discipline system. It can't work. No structure, no consistency, no predictable pattern for your child to rely on. Every day, mother, you are waking up. Every day you want peace in your home. No morning routine, no homework routine, no chore system, no sleep structure, no screen time boundaries, nothing. You spend the entire day firefighting issues that systems should have prevented. Effort without systems will equal to exhaustion. 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 You'll just be exhausted. Number 4, love without knowledge. Many of you love your children. People tell me, do you love my child? I love my children more than you. Da, 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 da. You're welcome. Love cannot replace knowledge, nor can it replace understanding. A toddler is having tantrums. The parent thinks, this child is stubborn. This child is attacking me. They've sent you to come and deal with me. You said those things. Since I gave birth to this child, I've not rested. They sent you. Some of you will even want to do deliverance for a 2-year-old. This morning I heard one of the inner circle parents sharing how, before she joined the inner circle on my intentional parenting journey, how her 3-year-old had just removed foam, I was playing with it and all of that, put it in the brother's mouth, and they decided that the solution to that problem is to take a 3-year-old for deliverance. The whole family gathered together. Father, mother, grandfather, everybody decided that this is the right thing to do, until somebody showed up. The person who has to say, no, there's something, somewhere you can gain knowledge. Don't do this. That's not how it's done. Love without knowledge is a disaster. Is a disaster. Don't love your child without knowledge. If you love your child without knowledge, you will actually destroy that child. Love without knowledge is a destruction. Don't go that route. Don't go that route. One of the best things you can do for your child is to learn. Is to learn. Is to learn. Love is powerful, but love without knowledge is dangerous. Love without skills, without understanding, without strategy, without capacity, it becomes either overprotection or permissiveness, or it becomes sentimentality, or it becomes emotional parenting, or it becomes guesswork that leads to drama. That's why you are creating drama that will eventually cause trauma for your children. A child does not see, does not just need a loving parent. They need an equipped parent. A parent who understands development, boundaries, communication, discipline, emotional safety, and systems. Love is not enough. Knowledge completes love. Don't go the route of I love my child, so everything will be fine. It won't. The Bible says, through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Through knowledge. Even you that is righteous, you need knowledge. Because it is through knowledge, you, the just, the righteous, that's how you be delivered. Your deliverance is directly accrued to the amount of knowledge that you have. Without knowledge, you cannot be delivered. Through knowledge shall the just be delivered. It's knowledge that preserves. It's knowledge that guides your love in the right direction. If you want to love your child well, please learn. Learn how. The greatest gift you can give to your child is how to love your child. And learning exactly how to love your child. I've seen boys, I've seen children who say to me, I don't feel loved. Does it mean that parents don't love them? No, 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 no. It doesn't. It means that they lack the skill to actually be able to deliver on that. Full knowledge shall they just be delivered. Your deliverance is according to the capacity that you have built. The capacity. The capacity. The capacity. One of the greatest gifts you can give to any child is loving them rightly. It's not just the feeling of love. It's not the intention of love. The capacity to love them in the way that they receive, that they experience, and they are shaped. I don't feel that it means that simply parents lack skill to deliver on love. You can lack skill. You can love your child and lack the skill to deliver on it. Sincerity is not a skill. Parents love sincerely, but sincerity is not a skill. Intentions are not systems. Emotions are not strategies. If you want to raise a whole grounded, emotionally skilled child, learn the skill, learn the moment, learn the language, learn the system. Because love without knowledge is not love. It's destruction wrapped in good intentions. You can love your child and kill your child. I've seen it happen because you don't know the way to go. Oh, you think that the people who raise their children anyhow actually intended to do that? No, they don't. Nobody ever intends to raise a child wrong. Nobody. 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 It's very important that you know that this is something that is very guided. Good parents struggle. It's not because they are good, they are bad, but because children are actually in the space where you need predictability. 2016 is not a year to try harder. It's a year to learn better. Stop saying, I will try harder. I will try my best. What is your best? Your best might not even be enough for your child. Let me say this. Do you know that your best might not be enough for your child? Your best is according to what you have capacity for per time. Your best is not the best there is out there. So when you say I have done my best, all you're saying is that I have done my best according to the capacity I have in the now. There are things you get exposed to years to come, and you will know that where you are is not your best. Where you are right now is not your best. You can better grow. If you get into the inner circle 1 year after, and you don't turn out to become better, then of course you know that I'm a false prophet. Where you are is not your best. There's something you do not know. There's something you do not know, and you must come into that consciousness. It's even arrogant to think that you know everything. Oh yes, it is. It's arrogant to think you know everything. How do you know everything? Are you God the Almighty? So when parents tell me I know what to do, I've done everything. Pride. How have you done everything? Do you know everything? No, you don't. So humble yourself today and tell yourself, I don't know everything. I don't even know much. I want to come and learn so that I will see the ones I don't know. That's the position I take all the time. And that's the position you should take as a parent. Because parenting is a marathon. It's a marathon. It's a marathon. Where you are is not your best. It's not. It's not. It's not. I've done everything. How have you done everything? You don't. None of us can do everything. The mark of the wise parent is humility. The mark of the wise parent is humility. It says, I don't know everything. I don't even know much. I want to learn. I want to see what I don't know. The unconscious, incompetent person. I was sharing this in the yard last week. Unconscious, incompetent. This is the posture you take as a parent. Humble yourself. Open your heart. Be willing to learn. Because your children do not need you to be perfect. They need you to be willing to grow. They need you to be willing to grow. You are not at your best. You have not done your best. It is a lie that you have done your best. You have only done what you have known, Why do good parents struggle? Why do good parents struggle? Why do good parents struggle? That's, another conversation. All right? This is very important for us to put in perspective. Now, number one is that they inherited parenting. They never learned it. That's why good parents struggle. You inherited parenting. You are simply repeating what you saw, not what it's actually going to work. You see that comment? Do what works for you is an evil statement to rip you off where you should be in the presence of God and in the capacity of what it is that God has built per time. Do what works for you. You think it's about what works for me. If it's about what works for me, I want to actually just wear a bra and a pant and appear on the stream. That's what works for me because I'm hot. So come on, bring it on. Do what works for you. Evil statement. Have you asked, what is it that works for the child? Think it's about you. Most times we actually come with these ideologies and we make it law and we make it a scripture. What works for you? What works for A might not work for B. Have you found what is working for the child? Putting a child in front of the TV works for you. It doesn't work for the child. Meanwhile, every time that we say your less than 2-year-old should not be on the screen, you say, it's a lie. My child is learning ABCD from it. They are not learning, they are regurgitating. They are two different things. It's an irresponsible statement. Thank you to God. That statement is an irresponsible statement. Don't say it. It is for people who want to run away from responsibility. Evil something. Evil something. What works for you is what? What works for you? What is it that is working for you? Have you asked, who is this child that God has given me? You think that Mary and Joseph did what worked for them? When Jesus was announced of his birth, the Bible said that they were commanded to leave their place of work, leave everything they were doing just to preserve Messiah, so you and I can be saved. You think it's about what works for them? You think that Mary was okay being pregnant without being married? You think it works for her? Or you think Mary wanted to work for her like that, so that she will be walking the hall of shame until Joseph came? Oh, you think it worked for her? Oh, wow. Joseph left everything he was doing, packed up his load and ran. And then all of a sudden, the Holy Ghost said, did everybody have that? Oh, yeah, pack and go again. And you're talking about what worked for you. What worked for you is what? Have you asked yourself, who is this child that I'm raising? Who is this child? He inherited what it is that worked according to you. It worked for your parents. If it really worked, why are all of us looking for our purpose up and down? Any child you raise that do not know where they are going, you failed in parenting. Looking for our purpose, we're all looking for, well, we all don't know who we are. And yet, you say, oh, well, parenting, it worked for them. That's what they have in that generation. There is higher knowledge. There's higher knowledge. And once you can access higher knowledge, it changes everything. Changes everything. Did my parents do badly? They did what they knew at the time. God forbid that I stay stuck saying to someone that, oh, my parents did, that's all it is that they did. They did it well. Look at me now. I turned out I'm a giant. I'm this and that. So therefore, I will repeat what it is that they do. It worked for me. Do what works for you. Evil statement. You think there are things that should not be improved? If you think there are things that should not be improved in your life, you lie to yourself. You're a big time liar. Because every single one of us must be able to look at ourselves as a better version of ourselves on a daily basis. On a daily basis. And when you access higher knowledge, you begin to look back and say, where I am, can this have been done better? That's what we're talking about. Nobody's here to condemn you whether you turned out okay. You didn't get an alcohol. Oh, they are calling you bad parent. Nobody's calling you bad parent. We really don't care, really. Bad parent on top waiting. Be a good parent, but inside your goodness, you might not even be delivering results. Because goodness in itself is not a skill. That's the truth. You don't have a good report, even as a good parent. Number 2, good parent struggle is that you rely on hope, not structure. Oh, you rely on hope. You're hoping that your child will turn out well. That hope, my child will turn out well. My parents beat me. I'm not beating my children. They'll turn out. It's not a system. It's a hope, and hope is not a parenting strategy. I hope that. God forbid, it's not my portion. Your child is going to watch porn if you don't put structures in place. The next thing you say is God forbid. Is that a joke? My child, let me not say your child, my child will watch porn if I don't have structures in place. It's not a God forbid matter. It's not a God forbid. I have known it from day one. So why am I deceiving myself? Oh, and that's why you say things things like, oh, my children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be their peace. Who is the teacher of the Lord? Is it the Lord that will teach himself of the Lord? He said you will instruct. The Bible said you will instruct your children in the ways of the Lord. It is your job. It's not the job of the Lord. The Lord does not parent children. If he did, he would have parented Eli's children. He was a prophet. But even raised Jesus, his only begotten son, he still gave him to earthly parents, Mary and Joseph. You think the Lord will come and parent your children for you? The Lord does not raise children. No. The Lord does not raise. The Lord will protect, give you insight, bring you to classes like this. That's what the Lord can do for you. The Lord won't raise your child. No. He will watch you. You will do wonders, mighty works, and still fail. Because anointing does not raise children. You can raise the dead and still raise idiots. I've said that over and over and over again. Raising the dead is not equal to the anointing of you being able to be a parent. Anointing is not a parenting. You don't get anointed to parent. You learn how to parent. You learn how to parent. So the question is, are you willing to learn? Number 3, most of the parents who are good confuse discipline and punishment. And then you wonder why connection in the home is breaking. You don't know the difference between discipline and punishment. Because you think that, oh, being good. Some people even come to me and say, I'm a very good person. Oh, I made a post about greeting. And I said, children who don't greet, there are structures in the home where there's lacking. And I shared in the comments section, no, it doesn't work like that. I greet everybody. I'm a very good person, very social. We like to elevate ourselves in things that, and then when you are done. And then what? The child is not learning. And I'm telling you that there's a strategy to teach your child. A few years ago, our children didn't know how to connect, to actually learn to greet. We taught them in structured systems. You don't leave anything to chance. Me, that will greet anybody that I see. You think that my child will just pick it up because? Just because? It doesn't work like that. The child doesn't pick it up like that. It's not transferable. Legacy, you don't transfer it. You teach it, you create it, you cultivate it. All right. Number 4, they use love without boundaries and boundaries without warmth. Either extremes destabilizes the child. Most good parents have this. Is it that you're here, they're here. Number 5, they ignore child development science. And they say, oh, God will parent my children for me. I don't need to do anything. There's a science behind parenting and you must learn it. Number 6, they underestimate the digital world's influence. The average 10-year-old has more exposure than their parents did by age 30. Did you hear me? The average 10-year-old has more exposure than their parents did by their 30. So your children are smarter, more exposed. That's the truth. That's the truth. And most of the times, we don't even consider all of that. Because for us, we don't think it. You think that your children don't know anything. That's what you think. That's the reality of the world we are raising children in. That's why you can't remain ordinary. No, you can't. You must grow. You must learn. How can your 10-year-old averagely have more exposure than you when you were in your 30s? Think about it. You know why? Your 10-year-old is navigating a world you never experienced at that age. A world of smartphone, algorithm, social pressure, online identity, information overload, access to anything at the top of a screen. That's why ordinary parenting will fail you forever and ever. You can't parent in 2025 the children with 1990 knowledge. You cannot. You cannot use guesswork. You cannot assume what my parents did as your strategy. Your children are exposed. The question is, are you equipped? If you don't grow, your children will outgrow your wisdom. If you don't learn, your children will learn from everywhere else except you. If you don't stay ahead, you will always be reacting instead of guiding. Are you ahead? Are you learning? Because it's learning that actually makes all of the difference. That's the truth. You must learn. It's no longer when you say, these things are not the same. Our parents did not learn. Parenting today requires knowledge, skills, strategy, system, community, and accountability. 7 things. If you don't have these 7 things, you will fail. And you must have all of them: knowledge, skill, strategy, systems, community, and accountability. The last two, not just a community, curated community. I shared on it last week. Curated culture and curated community. That's what saves you. It's not joining Facebook group where everybody is talking about parenting. Or you have 1,000,001 voices telling you different things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about curated system like the inner circle. Boldly so. Boldly so. These are the things that your children will survive on tomorrow. That's why programs like the inner circle exist, to help you stay ahead before you are left behind. Your child is growing fast. The world is advancing faster. You must learn even faster. Your child is growing fast. The world is advancing faster. You must learn even faster. If you don't, you're going to be left behind. Unapologetically. Number 7, most good parents lean on spirituality but neglect the psychology that God has created. Even God, who gave us scripture, also gave us brain science, emotional regulation, attachment, developmental studies. And you know the truth, you find all of this in the Bible. I'm a Bible scholar. If time would permit me, I would have actually opened the scriptures to show you that the scripture talks about emotional regulation. Scripture talks about the gift of the Spirit. It's there. It's there. Number 8, they think consistency is personality, not a skill. Or you think that, oh, I'm going to stay consistent. It's just your personality. You like to stay. People think that I like to stay consistent. I don't like it. There are too many things that I would like to do anyhow without a system of accountability in my life. Human beings naturally want to do what they want to do. So if you don't find yourself in accountability system, you're going to have a problem. Another thing is that you keep you're flipping the rules, you keep flipping expectations, you keep consequences and all of that. Number 9, these good parents parent alone. Most good parents, those people who call themselves good parents, in quote, no curated community, no accountability, no guidance. Do you know why you have a coach? Having a coach is because so that you can see the blind spots in your life. As a parent coach, I'm able to see blind spots in the life of the child that you're raising. It's my job. It's my job. I remember that Coach MB was sharing about her son. I saw where the parenting was headed many years ago before she could see it. I opened her eyes to being able to see that even though your son has a trophy, this child is headed for disaster if you don't do something now. That's what this is about, right? And if you want to learn more about what I just spoke about, please get into the inner circle. Also, I wrote about raising the trophy child in my book, Raising the Trophy Child. And of course, I'm raising the social genius, positioning your child to thrive where certificate can't speak. Most of the children that we have that are A++ students have issues with this. And unfortunately, this is part of the hidden curriculum of life. In this book, I wrote about hidden curriculum of life. All right. This book is available on Amazon and also available on our portals, distributors, and everywhere else. All right. Madam Chinyere Nadozie really loves Ade's story. All right. So I use a character in this book called Ade. I was a trophy child. I came out top of my class in uni. And believe you me, I have stories that I shared about Ade that is also about me. If you are ever a trophy child, that's your story. So don't parent alone. Transformation doesn't happen in isolation. Transformation happens in curated systems. Number 10, they believe intentionality is obvious. But intentionality is a learned system built on knowledge, practice, self-work, feedback. I've been able to build myself in the last decades to this person. It's taking me a lot. So how do you break this cycle permanently in the coming year? Number one, learn parenting as a skill, not an emotion. In 2026, you need to stop reacting. You need to start learning. You need to start building capacity. Go where systems are taught, not just vibes. systems are taught. And I can tell you for free, in the inner circle, you see systems come alive. I just had a meeting with one of the other fathers who flew in from, his location to Abuja to sit with me. Sat with me for almost an hour. And he said, I've always dreamt to sit with you to ask you some of these questions. Say, Coach, I'm in your office. I'm looking around and I can see everything you say come alive. Come alive. This time around, I'm having plenty visits from Yada fathers. Amazing something this year. All right, incoming Yada fathers that are just so many of them I'm getting to meet. It's been such, an awesome thing. Get into the inner circle. Learn to parent. It is a learned skill. It is not something you assume. Buy books, sell your wigs, buy wings for your children to fly. You don't need wigs. At a certain point in your parenting, if you're not making a lot of money to be able to, do the truth. You don't need wigs. You know the truth. Your children don't need more than three jeans, one short, 3 t-shirts. They don't need more than that. Your children don't need 5 ball gowns this Christmas. They don't. They don't even need any ball gown. If you cannot afford it. If what you can afford is to pay for inner circle, that Christmas clothes, take it out. You don't need it. Christmas is forever. Building yourself is in the now. Any year you lose out. You lose out. What is there? I don't really know. I don't have money. Inner circle is 140,000. Hey, I don't know. But if you have a shabby of your friend, you would have been saving from January till now, just so that you can just be part of their shabby and feel among. Sometimes those are shabby, you wear them once and that's it. Your DSTV payment is how much? Convert it to self-development. Convert it to self-development. Why do your children have clothes filled everywhere that they can't wear? Convert it to self-development for them. The problem is that we feed our minds physically. Some of us go ahead to actually try to feed it spiritually, but you still feeding the mind, feeding the mind itself. The problem is that we never get there. So our physical body is nourished. Our spiritual man, the spirit being is not, the mind is empty. Empty. That's why our children are not learning anything. Maybe Christmas is coming. You have packed money, your Christmas bonus, instead of it to use it to pay for inner circle, you want to use it and go and buy Christmas clothes. When you are done buying Christmas clothes and showing off with your long lashes, and if you are not Igbo, why not? Please get an Igbo friend. If you're going to be listening to me, please just get an Igbo friend, please. If what is crying will be crying forever, because you have not solved any problem. Oh, you have held this thing. Oh, hey, everything that's done. Leave the clothes alone. If you can, believe you me, if you can afford shoes, can afford bags, and afford to pay for your classes to feed your mind, please do it. Self-care. Self-care. Self-care is part of your self-care. So if you're going to actually have self-care, you must include self-care. Self-care. So before you fix, I didn't know that fixing hair has gotten to people paying 80,000 naira. I'm in shock. Those things shock me. As in, I am in total shock. That's somebody's salary. I actually sit down with it and just fix hair, only hair. It shocks me. But while it shocks me, that's not particularly my problem. I'm actually bothered with the child that is in your custody. That you're not learning enough to actually be disturbed enough to learn. To learn. Christmas is coming. The webinars in December, I love them. But we are coming. Number 2, prioritize your healing. Unhealed parents create unintentional patterns. A changed parent produces a changed lineage. So you need to prioritize your learning. Prioritize your healing. If you don't heal, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you. If you don't heal, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you. Are you bleeding on your children? Most times, you find out that most of the things they are doing, you're just doing it because you're bleeding on your children. You're bleeding on your children. Heal so that you don't bleed on people who didn't cut you. Number 3, build structure in your home. Structure, not guesswork. Not shouting, structure, structure, structure. Of course, time won't even permit me to share with you how you can do that. Get into the inner circle. It will help you build structures. Number 4, master connection. The children of 2026 cannot be controlled. And you're not controlling your children. You must be able to be a master. They can only be connected with. Connect with it. Connect with them. All right. It doesn't matter the age of your child. I'm not now. Some people are listening to me now and saying, coach, my child is now old. I wrote this book because of people like that. The parenting research. Oh, my child is now old, more than 18. But when you 18-year-old, when you adult, who is the person that said that an adult? How is your 18-year-old out of reach? It's an error. It's an error. I'm sure that inner circle parents would have had a good laugh. So I was in worry over the weekend and I saw some yadas. And the next thing I heard was, Coach, Onyewu adult. Who is an adult? If you are not in the yard, you won't get it. Onyewu adult. But one of the things you must understand is that no matter, you see, don't leave your child on their own. Parent them. It's your job. Parent them. Do you know that at the launch of God, Jesus' ministry, he was, it was Mary that actually launched him into miracle performance. That's his mother. Jesus was already an adult. And it was that time that Jesus actually aligned. Jesus said the time has not come. Mary stop. Mary said, your ministry should have started by now. Meanwhile, Jesus was an adult, according to you people. But since I don't know adult, I didn't see it in the Bible. With all the examples that were given, the Bible says that Jesus, the perfect example. So that family was a perfect example. Since I didn't see anywhere where the same Mary was shouting, even when Jesus got lost in the temple, some of you would have beaten Jesus and the Messiah inside of him would have gone forever. But Mary was calm. Mary was calm. I didn't see her react with slippers or throw cane. He said, looking unto Jesus, the author, the perfect finisher of my faith. Jesus is the perfect example. His family is the perfect example. I didn't see where Jesus was beaten, flogged with a cane. I didn't see it. It's not written in my scripture. No, it is not there. That thing you are saying is unscriptural. It is unscriptural. It's unscriptural. Because if it were you, everything you would have just been hearing, Jesus would have left it. In fact, if you no get Messiah, you and I for the drown inside by now. But because somebody agreed to actually be able to learn, So all these shouting, if you look through the scriptures, you will see Jesus was not left alone. The Bible says a child left alone. Don't leave your child alone. Don't leave your child alone. And you don't need to shout either. When Jesus was lost in the temple, the parents did not go there screaming, if I see this boy, what you have made me suffer for 3 days. Even Joseph did not carry machete to cut off the child. They approached him. If you were the one that your son answered you rudely, that thing was rude if you really think about it. I'm here, I'm about my father's business. Don't you your father? I'm sure by now, hey, I am even asking you after 3 days. You have go and learn. If you are really truly a practitioner of the things you read in the Bible, you won't actually do some things that you do. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's the thing. If you were Jesus, you would have beaten. I carry you for 9 months. You even shout, jump. Let me stop here. Is inner circle parents that I give back most that I know that they chest it and they still love it. If I give you some level of bass boost now, you just say, who the hell she is? You speak English on top of my head right now. So please, let me teach you the one I came here to teach you. If you want to hear more, get into the yard. Get into the yard. All right. Then number 5, embrace accountability. Isolation is where circles thrive. Community is where circles break. So you need to actually get curated communities so that circles can break. When you are isolated, these circles will thrive. Number 6, upgrade your digital intelligence. Stop allowing your children to call you BBT, born before technology. so that you can know what to do. So that you can know what to do. It's important that you upgrade your digital intelligence. The devices your children hands are louder than your voice. Take your authority back by understanding their word. Number seven, treat your home as a system, not a gamble. Stop gambling. When you understand systems, outcome become predictable. The reason you don't know where your child will end is because you don't have system. I know with exactitude where my parenting will end, and I know with exactitude what I will teach you in the year to get your parenting to the end where it should be. I know with this attitude. I'm not joking. I'm not guessing. I'm not thinking. I know. I know. I know. I know. And number eight, make parenting education non-negotiable. If your child is evolving every 6 months, your knowledge must evolve too. How do you want to parent the child when your knowledge is not evolving? Make parenting education non-negotiable, because it is not. As you're listening to me, if you're not in a curated culture and community, you will struggle. I say it again, and you will pay the price. Every skill we leave out to teach will always pay the price. 2026 must not meet you repeating the same cycle. Good, devoted, loving, sincere, yet you are struggling. It's time for you to break that cycle. It's time. It's time for you to break the cycle of trying harder. I've been trying. I will try. Stop trying. Come and learn what will make you do it better. Break the cycles by learning better. Break the cycle by upgrading your parenting skills to match the generation you are raising. A 10-year-old has the brain of a 30-year-old in your time. Can you really match that? Break the cycle by stepping into communities like the inner circle, where structure, accountability, and transformation are the pillars. 2026 is not the year for you to just play around. It's the year for mastery. Because your bloodline is not a joke to you, like I said to inner circle parents. You're not a joke to yourself. Wake up and do the things that you're supposed to do. Don't forget, get copies of my books. The 6-in-1 have been available since, and we've been using them. Of course, we have the Raising the Lifelong Learner. All of these books are available on Amazon, available on with our distributors, and you can also get e-copies. Raising the independent thinking child, raising the emotionally skilled child, raising the boy you don't need to bail out, raising the girl with strength. I don't know, these two books, people love it a lot. All right. And then you have the Sex Educate series, Raising the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have Walking Your Child to Puberty, our last book of the year in the inner circle. And then we have the Discipline series. Oh, the Raising series are more Raising the Trophy Child and then Raising the Social Genius. For the Raising series, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books on the Raising series, and you'll be able to get copies for you to actually, do what it is to parent better. For the sex conversation series, everything you need about sex conversation is here, and there are 6 of them for you to actually have access. And then the discipline series, you are having, issues with discipline. You don't even understand what discipline is. You think it's by, shouting everywhere, beating your child. Discipline is not an emergency. It's that book for you. Effective parenting strategies for raising disciplined children. Connect to Correct is that book for you. A better way to create boundaries with your child without yelling, threats, and fear-based control. This book has saved nations, and it has sold hundreds thousands of copies. You want to get a copy, on this book. Maybe when we sell the 1 millionth copy of this book, we'll do a lot of celebration. We're getting there quite soon. Discipline that works. All right. This book was the first book I wrote. This was the second book I wrote. All right. And that was a long time ago. But trust me, these books will help you. And then I have the parenting series. What I call the parenting series, the parenting research, parenting lessons from the Bible, the parenting advantage. These are the parenting series, and you can get any of them. If you're a parent who is, you want to really understand parenting. Parenting Advantage is a book you want to have. The parenting lessons from the Bible is just an amazing read. There are just too many things to pick up from the Bible that you don't see. If you have ever heard me interpret the scriptures, then you want to read this. I'm going to also pick up and write volume 2 of this book because there's so much insight just from reading the Bible. Then the parenting research, how to start over when you've gotten it wrong. If you have gotten it wrong and you're listening to me today, don't panic. There is hope for you. Join the inner circle. Get this book. We're reading this book. That's the very first book we're reading next year. And then we have the camp parenting series. from Yelling to Calm, and the Calm Parent Framework. You want to become a calm parent, these are the books that you need. And then we have the planners. We have 2 planners for now. Your Family Plan for Godly Courtship and Marriage, amazing book, and Family Launch Plan, amazing book. These are the planners that we have, and then we have others. What we call others, they've not been grouped yet. I'm sure you'll see them in a group soon. Solving family problems with effective communication, resolving sibling rivalry, how to love your child, and of course, finally, if you have not read my book, the Legacy book, all right, this is my book from my 40th. This is an amazing read that you would want to actually get your hands on. All these books are available on Amazon. All of them are available with our distributors. All of them are available in your locations. You can also get e-copies. Trust me, you want to actually learn so much. Chinyere, it's like you started reading the book already. All right. What is Inyenebenen? I don't want to miss anything you say. Oluwatose Inyenebene. Oluwatose. If you are going to listen to me and listen to me for a long time, please get an Igbo friend or please get an Igbo interpreter. All right, but yes, it is. It means what is crying is still crying, right? So explaining it literally, that's what it means. Okay, effective communication. I love it. Thank you so much, Mavis. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. It's been an honor. It's been an honor to be here. Please, the Inner Circle program starts in 12 days. People have been asking me, I thought you said it's 2026. Hey, I thought it was January 1st. By the time you come on January 1st, you will wait in the wait list until December 1st. Don't be outside the ark, because trust me, we will not open the door for you. It was Inner Circle Yarders that said last year that the ark is closed, and even Noah does not have the key. Honestly speaking, I usually don't have the key to open it. So do not open that. Don't wait until you're not in the place. Last year, people begged. They won. People paid from the beginning of last year. As we speak, people are paid for 2027, seated in their cohorts. And they are just seated, no drama. So why are you doing drama? Why are you dragging your leg? It's 12 days to go. 2 days to go now. Everybody will be on our neck, breathing down our neck and doing all sorts of things about, joining Inner Circle. Join now so that you can do things properly and do it better. Time is already going. We're already onboarding cohort 1X. We're going to cohort 1I and Z. And the moment we get to Z, of course, you know that the arc is short. Don't be left behind. Don't be left. So it's not unlimited slots. It is limited. FYI. And believe you me, by the end of today, tomorrow, cohort 1I will be open, 1Y will be open, and before you know it, cohort 1Z will be filled. Have an amazing day, everybody. And do see you again tomorrow at 8 a.m. at my intentional parenting journey. And of course, see you again Tuesday live. The others, see you on Thursday. Your collection pool is waiting for you in the yard. And when you're done, it will be all right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. And do have an amazing, amazing day.
Common phrases in the Inner Circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an Inner Circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the Inner Circle, we dey walk and it dey show.
CIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?